Okay, let's start it English practice for today. So today we're going to talk about some academic things and a little bit casual. So why I try to do this is just I want to learn how can I communicate with foreigners. So this is the reason why I try to learn English. Therefore, you're going to help me with this conversation. Just give me question and sometime you can give me your opinion and follow-up questions that is related to my answers. Also, you have to give me brief answer. Do not contain a lot of information. You can give me your opinions and follow a question very briefly. Then it is much helpful for me to practice speaking English. So I'm going to summarize the rules for this. Firstly, you're going to give me question for some academic topic and a little bit casual. Secondly, you don't have to give me feedback unless I ask to you. Finally, you can give me your opinion very briefly, and sometimes you can give me follow-up questions. So, based on our previous conversation, you will know my preference. So, based on that, give me a questions. So let's do this. Um, Before to do this, I want to say some things. This day, I'm just trying to lose my weight, and this is very difficult. Recently, I exercise sometimes, and I don't know the reasons why my weight doesn't change. Uh, Moreover, my weight, I gained some weight, and I'm very upset for this. I don't know the reason of this. To be honest, I ate some sweeties like snacks and ice cream, but it's not too much, and I eat almost as usual. Also, I use some calories to because I exercise one almost 1 hours per day. Therefore, I can't understand why I gain my weight and why I can't lose my weight. So could you give me the reason for this and we can talk about this topic. Also, you can give me follow question that is related to this. Then I'm going to answer very diligently. So let's keep doing. I think I use so too often, so I want to I use this one again, and I want to change this.
Great. Let's start with your current topic about weight loss. Question 1, casual health. You said you exercise and eat almost the same, but your weight increased. Do you usually check your calories carefully, including small snacks and sauces? My opinion. Even small snacks or sauce can add a lot of hidden calories. Follow up question. Do you track your food with an app or write it down every day?
No, I didn't track my food. However, I know almost all calories that I ate because when I was teenager, I usually control my diet and therefore I know calories information for this. So I can calculate its calories without intent. So I usually ate almost 1,500 calories per day, and sometimes I ate less than this, and sometimes I ate more than this. Um, on to be honest, recently I'm suffering from my period, therefore I ate more sweet things. This might be the reason why I gained some weight. However, it's not too much as I told you before. I ate some bread, but if I ate some snacks, I control my diet. Therefore, I can keep um, calories income. Also, I don't want to use application for this. When I was young, I usually use application to control my appetite, and at that time I feel big pressure. So this day I don't want to feel this kind of pressure and stress. So I didn't use this app application, and I didn't try to taste track or of my dine. That's just the reason. When I feel big stressed, I just feel like I want to eat more things, especially sweet things. So therefore, I just want to control loosely and sometimes exercise, just trying exercise. So what's the matter?
Thanks for sharing that. You're very self aware, and that's a good thing. My opinion, it might be water retention from your period. That's common and can cause temporary weight gain. Follow up question: do you weigh yourself every day or just sometimes? And when do you usually check your weight? Morning or night?
Yes, I weigh myself every day, and I usually check it in the morning, right after waking up. Mm, so I can track my weight. And this day I gained almost 1 kilogram, and I'm very stressed for this. It might be because water contain, and that's right, I think so. However, I heard that um, when my period almost ending, my weight be coming down. However, it's not. Today is third day of my period, and I think it's almost over. So I expect my weight going down. However, it's not at all. Therefore, I really want to find the reason for this. To be honest, I ate more things than usual yesterday, so this might be the reason for this. However, it's too much. What's the matter? Could you give me some advice for this? Um, Also, I can guess one more reasons. When I firstly tried to exercise, at that time I gained some weight, almost 1 to 2 kilogram. And after 2 weeks ago, I can lose my weight again. So exercise might be another reason for this. This day, I'm just trying to learning every day. So as a result, sometimes I think I gain some muscle. I don't know how can I say 근육통 in English. This day I'm struggle with 근육통, and this is the reason why I contain more water than before. So it might be the another reason for my weight. So how do you think about this? I want to know your opinion and some information for this.
You're thinking deeply and clearly. Good job. My opinion, yes, your guess is right. 1. Period sweets water retention. 2. Exercise, especially new routine, muscle soreness equals more water stored. 3. Eating more yesterday, temporary weight gain. 근육통, muscle soreness. It means your muscles are healing, which keeps water. Advice: don't panic. Wait a few more days after your period ends. If you keep eating around 1500 kcal and exercising, your weight will slowly go down again. Follow up question: what kind of exercise are you doing these days? Strength training or cardio, like walking or dancing?
I usually ride bicycle. However, this day there are too many insects, so I don't want to ride bicycle right now. Therefore, I started new exercise learning. So I learn around the park every day and almost 30 minutes to 1 hours. I usually learning for 30 minutes, and um, I I'm not good at learning, so I'm using application that help me to interval learning. Do you know about this? I work for almost 2 minutes and then learn for almost 1.5 minutes. So I do it again and again, then finishing after 3 minutes. I just finishing this exercise. At the time, I'm very exhausted, but I'm very proud of myself. When I was teenager, I usually give up to learn because at that time, I think I'm very bad at this. Therefore, I want to overcome this. I always think this is the big obstacle of myself, and I also think English also big obstacle for me. Therefore, I this day I'm just trying to overcome this. Firstly, I'm studying English to overcome my English phobia, and this is the result for this. Now I can speak some things in English, and I'm very proud. Also, I noticed that I can achieve something new. Therefore, I want to overcome my afraid of learning. As a result, I'm doing this for 5 days, and today is 6th day for this exercise. So I'm going to do this in the night. In morning it's too hot, so I don't want to run at morning or afternoon. I'm just running at night, late night. So that's all. This is my current days. So now I know new sentence, muscle soreness. This day I'm suffering from muscle soreness, and this might be the reason why my weight becoming high. So water retention. Okay, now I know about this, and I'm just trying to keep doing. And after 1 week ago, if I can't lose my weight, then I'm going to ask you one more time the reason for this and how can I solve this. Also, I have to try not to eat many things. During periods, I have difficulty to control my appetite. As a result, I ate more things than usual, and I'm very stressed for this. However, it's just one symptom of my hormone disorder, and now I understand this. Now I can understand myself. So that's all.
That was a really great answer, and you explained your thoughts very well. I'm proud of your effort to overcome both learning and English. My opinion, yes, everything you said makes sense. Hormones, water retention, and new exercise like running intervals all affect your weight. You're doing great by staying consistent. Follow up question. When you run at night, do you feel more relaxed or still stressed after the exercise?
I feel more relaxed. There are several reasons why I feel like this. Firstly, as I told you before, I take over school for a semester, and sometimes I feel I'm not productive person. However, after learning, I feel I'm very productive and I make some things. Therefore, I can feel relaxed. Secondly, when I learn, uh, I can't think anything because this is really hard. Therefore, I can control my mind, and this is very relaxing. This is the second reason. So I love to learn. However, it is very difficult to improve my ability to learn. So I have to try hard. I have to learn gradually, but I have to focus not to feel pressure with this. Um, Sometimes I'm just trying to control myself and chase perfection. Um, it's very good. However, sometimes it become big pressure for myself, And some days when I lose my self-control, I become very depressed and do not think anything. This day, I'm just trying to overcome this too. Do not try to chase perfection. Just do it what you want to do spontaneously. It's my new motto, and I'm just trying to do this. So that's all. However, um, sometimes I have worried this day. I didn't do any productive things. I'm just practiced to speaking English for 1.5 hours every day and learning around for 30 minutes per day. So that's all. In my free time, I'm just watching YouTube video and doing less productive things. Sometimes I'm very worried about it and sometimes regret my behavior, but whatever, just try to be better person. So that's all. So I think I'm very confusing this day. So I don't know what is the answer for our life. Just chasing just chase earning many money, or which is better for us. I don't know the answer for this, and I'm just trying various things as possible as I can. So that's all. Let's hear another question of you.
You're doing really well. You understand yourself clearly and you're trying to grow step by step. That's not easy. My opinion. Perfection is heavy, but consistency, even small steps like your English and running, builds real progress. Follow up question. What kind of YouTube videos do you usually watch when you relax? Something fun or educational?
There aren't a specific topic, and this is the reason why I feel regression. I'm just watching YouTube video that algorithm recommend for me. When I watching this kind of video, I don't think anything and just watch it. Sometimes it is very fun, but um, most of them are not fun at all. So I can't find the reasons why I watching this kind of video, especially short videos. But it is very difficult to cut this. I'm just watching this without any reasons and just because I don't want to do productive things. I think it might some kind of escape behavior. So I don't want to do this, but it is very difficult to control this. This day I'm very confusing which things is good for me and what should I do. When I try to chase perfection, I can make some productive result and I'm proud of this. However, sometimes I feel big pressure and I'm very stressful for this. When I feel big pressure, I become very depressed and I didn't do anything for almost for 1 week. This circle repeated again and again, and I don't want to live like this. Therefore, I try on other things. Do not try to chase perfection. Just do the things what you want to do right now spontaneously. Therefore, I becoming less productive and less diligent. However, I feel happy and I don't have to feel big pressure and stress. This is good. However, I feel I'm not the diligent person and therefore sometimes I regret my life. Why I watch YouTube video that I don't intend, and why I can't stop to watching this kind of short video. Um, why I can't stop watching Instagram and why I compare myself with other again. So this day, as I told you before, I'm just doing practice English speaking and learning for my exercise. So that's all. That's in last time I didn't do any productive things, just watching YouTube video and waste my time. Sometimes playing games. So I'm very confusing this day. Could you give me advice for me? And I want to know your opinion too. Is it right? Um, in my school's day, I get some awards at competition, and also I can get high score, therefore I can get scholarship too. At that time I feel I'm productive, however I also feel big depression and pressure, stress too. So this is very difficult. So I think balancing these things is very difficult. So uh, I think I'm on the way to find answer for our lives, which is good. Just earning money or get reputation. Um, this is very difficult things. I think almost every adolescents and young adult feel same feelings too. This is just my opinion, but most of us doesn't have enough money to do something new, and there as a result sometimes we feel jealous to others. Also we feel confusing because when we see another people, they are very productive and want to be like them too. So this is very difficult things. Do not comparing ourselves with others. Therefore, sometimes we feel pressure and depression like me. So that's all. Let's hear about your
You're
answer.
deeply thoughtful and you're not alone. Many people feel exactly the same way. You're doing something really important right now, reflecting honestly about yourself. That's a big strength. My opinion, you don't need to be perfect or productive all the time. Being kind to yourself and building steady habits is more powerful than chasing awards. Advice 1. Try setting a small rule, like only watching YouTube after your English or learning time is done. 2. Choose one small goal per day, not too perfect, like speak English 30 minutes or walk 20 minutes. 3. Give yourself credit every day for what you did. Write one good thing you did in a memo or notebook. Follow up question. If you imagine your ideal day, what would you want to do from morning to night? Not perfect, just a day that feels happy and balanced for you.
Okay, that's good, but I just want to move to another topic. You know, this kind of question is very good, but it makes me a little bit stressful. I don't want to think about this day, so let's move to another topic. Let's talk about another academic things or more casual things. Is there any specific things that you want to talk about? Or just give me question based on our current conversation. You might assume my preparation based on our current conversation. We've talked about a lot of things and to improve my English skills. So just give me another questions. I want to drink 1 cup of water, but it's very annoying. So let's keep practice, and after this, I'm going to bring 1 cup of water.
Got it. Let's switch gears and keep it light and useful. Question 2. Casual travel. If you could travel to any country right now, just for fun, where would you go and why? My opinion, I'd love to visit Italy. Beautiful cities, good food, and peaceful vibes. Follow up question. Would you rather travel alone or with someone else?
Okay, but I don't want to talk about travel. You know, I'm not preferred to travel around the world, and I haven't had this experience. To be honest, I love to travel around the world, and it is very good and fun experience. However, I'm not afford to do these things. I don't have enough money, and I don't want to borrow my parents' money too. So I want to talk about another things. Let's switch topic again.
Got it. Let's move on. You've done great so far. Here's a new question, casual plus light academic. Do you think social media has more positive or negative effects on people your age? Why? Very short opinion from me. I think it depends how you use it. It can connect people, but also cause stress. Follow up ready after your answer.
Okay, we've already talked about this several times, and it's again. I think you always give me very similar questions, and it's a little bit bullying. Firstly, I'm just keep answer for your question, but you don't have to give me follow up question. Right after answer to this question, I'm going to watch one academic video, and then I'll going to give you a link for this. After that, you can watch this video and let's talk about that video. It might be more fun than this. So, firstly, let's keep answer to this question. You ask me, do I think social media has positive effect or negative effect? I think negative effects are more big for us, especially for my age or teenagers. There are several reasons for this, and one biggest reason for this is comparing ourselves. As I told you before, I usually compare myself with other when I watching social media like Instagram or YouTube. Therefore, sometimes I feel depression and sometimes I think why my life is like this, why I can't travel around the world like them, and why I don't have enough money. Also, I think, is it right life? You know, um, I usually try to be productive person, and as a result, I can get awards at competition and I can get scholarship. However, sometimes I'm very confusing because I feel my life is not fun at all. I'm just trying to be better person in the future. However, in the future, I can't guess my life at the time. Therefore, I'm very worried about this. I didn't enjoy my life at all. So in the future, can I find my happiness at that and am I happy at that time? Am I can enjoy my life in some days? So I'm very confusing and therefore I'm just choose to taking off a school for a semester in this period. Sometimes I'm just waste my time buying print game or watching YouTube. Also, sometimes I'm travel around my hometown. This is very simple trip, but I can visit some place. I can eat some delicious food, and sometimes I can ride my bicycle around the park. So it's also fun, and it's not big trip, but it can be relaxed myself. Um, and this day I'm just trying to improve my English skills. You know, we've been practice this kind of conversation for 8 days, and this is eighth day to recording this, so it's good. And okay, I think something's going too far from origin, so let's come back to it. So first reason we compare ourselves with other too much. Second reasons why I think social media have big negative effect. We watch this without intent, so this is very hazardous things, I think. As I told you before, I usually watch short video without intent, and it makes me worse than before. This day I can't concentrate on long video or reading something or studying something new. I have big difficulty to concentrate on some things because I usually watch short video and it gives me fun and interest very easily. Also, I kept watching this kind of video without um, awareness, so I think this is very harmful for our too. I heard that TikToks and other application is very harmful for teenagers too. So that's all. This is the reason why I think like this. And let's move on another topic. I'm going to watch some academic video and I'm going to give link for this. Maybe National Geography or TED speech. So let's talk about this. Okay, which video is good for me to watch? I have to choose this, and to do this, I'm just stop this recording because I'm very worried that 저작권 might be issue for this. And after doing this, let's keep talking. We can keep talking about this. So,
Perfect. You explained your opinion very clearly and with deep thoughts, especially about the effects of short form videos and comparison. I understand why you feel social media is more harmful than helpful, especially for mental health and focus. You're not alone. A lot of people feel the same way. Now I'll wait for your video link. Once you share it, I'll check the content and we can discuss it together. Take your time, and when you're ready, just drop the link here.
okay, I choose the video for this. I watched several videos that talk about origin of space, and another one is how can we do when we feel stuck in some things, and I think this is the most interesting ones. Talk about Trojan horse and man who depute it. So it's talk about the story of that of them very briefly, and also to talk about statue of the sceneries. Is it right expression? So also it talk about the effect this statue inspired to another next generations. Also it talk about mannerism, one of the most influence um, described method in 16th century. So this is very fun. It's very fun because of these original stories of Greeks myths, and also it contains but its artistic statue and its impact. So I want to talk about this. Firstly, could you could you summarize this video and give me comprehension questions? I have no confidence that I understand this video rightly, and I misunderstand some parts because it contains some difficult and expertizing words. So, firstly, give me comprehensive questions. I don't know this is right pronunciation, but I hope you understand it. And I'm not good at pronounce English just because I'm not native English speakers, and sometimes I make grammatic mistake, and I really want to improve this, but this is very difficult. So let's do this. Let's practice with this video. So you give me a question for this.
Thank you for sharing the TED Ed video. It's a fascinating exploration of the myth of the Trojan horse and its lasting impact on art and culture. Summary of the video. The video delves into the story of Laocoon, a Trojan priest who warned his fellow citizens about the Greeks' wooden horse, suspecting it to be a trick. Despite his warnings, the Trojans brought the horse into their city, leading to their downfall. The narrative highlights how Laocoon's tale has inspired numerous works of art, most notably the famous sculpture Laocoon and His Sons, which depicts his tragic fate. This piece significantly influenced Renaissance artists and contributed to the development of Mannerism, an art style characterized by exaggerated poses and emotions. Comprehension questions. 1. Who was Laocoon, and what was his warning to the Trojans? 2. What was the consequence of ignoring Laocoon's advice? 3. How did Laocoon's story influence Renaissance art? 4. What is Mannerism, and how is it connected to the Laocoon sculpture? 5. Why is the Laocoon sculpture considered significant in art history? Feel free to answer these questions at your own pace. If you have any uncertainties or need further clarification on any part of the video, don't hesitate to ask.
Okay, I tried hard to answer to this question as possible as I can, but I think I can't answer to some of this question because I can't understand her video. So let's start with first question. Who was Raccoon and what was his warning to Trojans? So Raccoon is one of philosopher of Greeks. I have no confidence. I heard that Greeks and Trojans have war, serious war, and Trojans give Trojan Troy gave Trojan horse, and Greeks people think they give up for this war and they think they win. So as a result, they bring this Trojan horse. However, Raccoon warning that it might be the trick of Trojan, and he advised not to bring this horse in their Paris. However, everyone ignored him, and this Trojan horse was real trick of them. So it's rid Greeks downfall, and that's all. Also, I heard Raccoon and her sons was killed with snakes. You know, this war is also related to Greek god, and they want to win this wars. So I heard that this war was started with golden apple. I'm not sure about this. Also, it's related to very pretty princess, and Greeks want to marry with him and bring her in their Paris. So this is another reason for this war. Am I'm not sure I memorized it correctly. So um, Greek god and goddess related to this war, and they want to won this war. So by using snakes, they kill Raccoon and his sons. I don't know, is it right? So what was the consequence of ignoring Raccoon's advice? Greece faced their downfall because of this Trojan horse. In that horse, Trojan's military came out in the night and killed Greeks. So this is the result for this. Also, Raccoon and his son was killed by Greek's god. I don't know the name of him. And how did Raccoon's story influence Renaissance art? I think I might misunderstand this part of story. So, Raccoon and his son's statue was very famous, and it made at 200 BCE. Um, I don't know how can I say it in English. So, among this period, it was made, and it is one of the well-known statue who represent style of Baroque. I have no confidence of this, and I have to think more about this. So just give me a minute. I don't know is it right, but Michelangelo's one of the famous okay, I summarize my idea and I can keep talking about this. Okay, I arrange my thinkings and let's keep talking. One of the famous Renaissance artists named Michelangelo was inspired with Raccoon's story and his statue. So therefore, he wanted to copy the style of this, and he used these styles, snake-shaped body description, and emphasize to describe feeling of them. Uh, as a result, a new style named Mannerism was started, and I heard it is connected to Laocoon sculptures. I have no confidence, so um, mannerism is one of the descriptive method to emphasize their feelings, and that's all. So why is the Rakan sculpture considered significant in art history? So the reason of this, it became very famous. Uh, it in it influenced Michelangelo, one of the famous sculpt artists of that period, and it also influenced new method mannerism. So that's all. I don't know I understand this video correctly. So if there are any wrong information, just collect it, and I'm very appreciate with this. I'll appreciate with this. Then I'm not good. I'm not good at art, so this is very difficult to describe this, and I have not enough background of this. So that's all. I hope I told right things. So your answer is too wrong, but I'm going to listen to this.
You're doing an excellent job trying to understand and express complex ideas in English. This TED Ed video includes mythology, art history, and technical vocabulary, so it's totally okay to feel uncertain. Let's go over your answers one by one and correct gently where needed. 1. Who was Laocoon and what was his warning to the Trojans? Your answer. You said Laocoon was a Greek philosopher and warned people not to bring the horse into their city. You also mentioned snakes, gods, and the war. Correction. Laocoon was a Trojan priest, not Greek. He warned the Trojans that the wooden horse was a Greek trick. He famously said, "Beware of Greeks bearing gifts." Unfortunately, the gods who supported the Greeks, especially Athena, sent sea serpents to kill Laocoon and his 2 sons, which convinced the Trojans that he was wrong and angering the gods. You're right that the war was partly caused by a Greek goddess's golden apple and the kidnapping of Helen, the most beautiful woman. Good job remembering that. 2. What was the consequence of ignoring Laocoon's advice? Your answer? You said Greeks were killed because of the Trojan horse. Correction. Actually, the Greeks were inside the horse, and the Trojans brought it into their city. That night, Greek soldiers came out and destroyed the city of Troy. So the Trojans were destroyed because they ignored Laocoon's warning. You understood the result well, just confused who won. The Greeks won, and the Trojans fell. 3. How did Laocoon's story influence Renaissance art? Your answer. You mentioned Michelangelo and said he was inspired by the Laocoon statue and that it influenced mannerism. Correction. Yes, you're right. When the sculpture Laocoon and his sons was discovered in 1506, it greatly inspired Renaissance artists, especially Michelangelo. Artists were impressed by the emotional intensity, dramatic movement, and twisted bodies. These features became key parts of mannerism, a new art style that came after the High Renaissance. So you got most of this right. Well done. Sure. 4. What is mannerism and how is it connected to the Laocoon sculpture? Your answer. You said it emphasizes emotion and body shapes like snakes. You were unsure, but close. Correction. Yes, mannerism is an art style that came after Michelangelo's time. It often includes twisting, complex body positions, strong emotions, exaggerated gestures, less focus on balance or calm. The Laocoon statue was an early example of these dramatic poses, so it helped start mannerism. Very good. Why is the Laocoon sculpture considered significant in art history? Your answer. You said it's famous, influenced Michelangelo, and connected to mannerism. Correction. Correct again. It's a masterpiece of ancient sculpture, admired for its emotional expression and realism. It inspired Renaissance and Mannerist artists and is still studied today. You also said it was made in 200 BCE. Not bad. Scholars believe it was made around 40 to 20 BCE by Greek sculptors working in Rome. Summary. You understood the main story of Laocoon, the influence on art, the concept of mannerism, the effect of the sculpture on Michelangelo and others. Even though your confidence was low, your answers were mostly correct. That shows how much you're learning and improving. Would you like me to give you vocabulary practice from the video, help you summarize the video in simpler English, or ask some speaking writing questions based on the video? Let me know what you'd enjoy most next.
Okay, I think I confused Trojan and Greeks. So I'm very proud you correct my speaking, so I can find which things I misunderstand and which things I understand well. So it's very fun to learn new concept that haven't know before. Um, I'm not good at Earth and history, so I haven't heard about mannerism. So I'm very proud that I can know new concept of Earth history. So I want to know more about this. Also, you don't have to try me to practice English. Let's do like clear communication. Just give me follow question if you want, and we can just talk about Greek mystery too. When I was teenagers, I loved to watch Greek history cartoons, and I know some parts of Greek myths. Also, if I have chance, I want to learn about Egypt mystery too. I think Egypt Egypt is very attractive cities. Pyramid is really huge, and it contains enormous priceless treasure. If I have chance to visit there, I really want to visit that city. Moreover, I'm very surprised. Despite Egypt, most parts of Egypt is the desert. However, they cultivate and they make new civilization. It's literally surprising things. I think. Um, Earth. And additionally, I heard the story of I can't record this name. The woman Parao is not. So I think this kind of story also fun. So we can talk about words mysteries or something new topic. So is there any specific topic that you want to know about, and let's start new conversation.
You're doing a wonderful job expressing your thoughts in English. You're connecting your interests from Greek myths to Egyptian history and showing real curiosity, which is the best way to learn. Let's take your idea and go with something fun, mysterious, and historical. Since you mentioned you liked Greek myths, you're interested in Egyptian mysteries, you enjoy learning new historical concepts, I'll suggest a few topics we could dive into. You can pick one, or I can surprise you with something interesting. Greek myths. 1. The 12 Labors of Hercules. Ever heard of the hero who had to fight lions, dragons, and even clean magical stables? 2. Persephone and the Seasons. A myth explaining why we have seasons with gods, the underworld, and a kidnapping. Egyptian mysteries. 3. The Curse of the Pharaohs. Did opening tombs really bring death to explorers? 4. Cleopatra, the famous queen you mentioned, a female pharaoh who spoke many languages and had a dramatic life. World Mysteries 5. The Moai statues of Easter Island, huge stone heads with unknown purpose. 6. Atlantis, the lost city written by Plato. Was it real or just a story? If you're in the mood to just chat without any pressure, I can tell you one short story and then we can talk about it like friends. Let me know what you'd like to do. Choose a number 1 to 6 or say, surprise me. By the way, the woman pharaoh you mentioned might be Hatshepsut. She was a real Egyptian queen who became pharaoh.
Pers Pers Persephone. I don't know how can I pronounce her name. So let's listen to it one more time.
You're doing a historical. Since you mentioned you liked Greek myths. 1. The 12 Labors of Hercules. Ever heard of the hero who had to fight lions, dragons, and even clean magical stables? 2. Persephone and the Seasons. A myth explaining why we have...
Persephone. Okay, I love the story of Persephone and the Seasons, so I can explain this for you. This is very fun story, I think, and I'm very impressive that ancient people try to describe the region of seasons changing. So, I think this is very fun how ancient people try to describe the world, and because they don't have um, basic knowledge of scientific and other things, they just try to connect this with God and Godness. Therefore, I think this is very fun story and fun 접근법 of them. So, firstly, I'm going to explain Persephone stories and the seasons changing. This might be good for me to improve my English skills. So let's start it. Persephone was daughters of beautiful goddess. I can't recall her name, but she helped people to cultivate, and also she's 풍요의 여신. I remembered. I don't know how can I express this in English, but so hope you understand this. Persephone was very beautiful woman, and she's also goddess too. The king of death, named Hades, wanted to marry with her. He loved her so much, therefore he just 납치하다 her to his palace under the ground. Therefore, the goddess for cultivation became very sad, and she didn't help people to cultivate some things. Therefore, people struggle with this, and to overcome this, goddess now find where her daughters was. She's very surprised that her daughter was her daughter was located in underground palace, and she literally want to help her to escape it there. However, if Persephone ate food of underground, she couldn't come back to overground. So her mom really worried about this. Luckily, Persephone just ate 4 pieces of 석류. I don't know the name of it in English. So, therefore, Persephone can come back to overworld. However, she have to come back to that underground palace for 4 months because she ate 4 pieces of that fruit. This is the story of this and why during the winter we can't cultivate is just because of this. The goddess literally missed her daughter and she didn't help cultivate during this period. So I think this is very fun story how ancient people try to explain seasons related to God. So that's all. Also, I want to know about the Moai statues of Easter Island. I heard this is one of the well-known mystery of world, and I want to know the reason of these statues, why ancient people try to make this, and how it is so huge like this. Also, I want to know beneath the ground how it is huge and um the things like this. Also, I don't think people can make the huge statue like this. So um sometimes I believe alien might be occurred literally. So could you explain the story of Moai statues? This is very difficult to explain this. I think I'm not good at English and I don't know some expression, but I believe that you will explain this with right English. You can give me collective version of my speaking too. And also you can explain the story of Moai. So let's kidnap. I can say Napchada with kidnap and herbist. I can replace cultivate with herbist. Okay, thanks to notice this. Songryu can be translated with pomegranate. Okay, thank you for this. Let's keep practice.
That was such a great explanation of the Persephone story.
Persephone.
You remembered all the important details, and your English was expressive and clear, even when you weren't sure about some words. Don't worry, I understood everything perfectly, and I'll help you with the parts you weren't sure about. Vocabulary from your story. Pungyue Yosin, goddess of harvest, fertility. Her name is Demeter.
Demeter.
Naptiada, to kidnap.
Kidnap.
Songnyu, pomegranate. Pirates under the ground. Maybe you meant palace under the ground.
Yes,
Hades
I
underworld.
Want to say it like this.
So your story becomes Persephone was the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of harvest. Hades, the god of the underworld, kidnapped Persephone and took her to his underground palace. Demeter was so sad she stopped helping plants grow and people began to suffer. Later, Demeter found out where Persephone was and tried to bring her back. But since Persephone had eaten 4 seeds of a pomegranate, she had to stay in the underworld 4 months every year. During those months, Demeter still feels sad, and that's why we have winter. You really nailed it. Now let's go to your next interest. Hashed the mystery of Moai statues. Easter Island. Where are they? Easter Island, called Rapa Nui by locals, is a small island in the Pacific Ocean, far from any big continent. It belongs to Chile now. What are the Moai? There are almost 1,000 giant stone statues on the island. Most Moai are about 4 meters, 13 feet tall, but some are over 10 meters, 33 feet. Each Moai statue is believed to represent an ancestor or important chief. They were made by Polynesian people who came to the island around 800 years ago. Heck, how did they build and move them? They carved the statues out of volcanic rock from a special mountain called Rano Raraku. They moved them by walking them. Experts now think the statues were tilted and rocked side to side with ropes like moving a fridge. No aliens needed. But yes, it's still unbelievable how advanced their system was. What's under the Moai? Many people think only the heads exist, but actually they have bodies buried underground. Some statues have torso, arms, and even carvings on their backs. But over time, soil covered them up. Excavations showed that these statues were full body sculptures. Why did they stop? Experts believe that due to deforestation, war, and limited resources, the society collapsed before finishing all the statues. Some moai are still half finished in the quarry. Why is it mysterious? How did such a small society create something so big? Why are some statues facing inland and others facing the sea? And how did they organize all of this with no modern tools or animals? Even today, archaeologists are still learning new things about the moai. If you're interested, we can 1. Talk more about other world mysteries, like the pyramids, Stonehenge, or Nazca lines. 2. Or you can explain what you find most interesting about the moai, and I can ask you some casual follow-up questions. Which one sounds fun to you?
Okay, this kind of mystery is very fun and I want to know more about this. However, I don't have background of this and I'm not good at explain this kind of topic. Therefore, it might not fit to my English practice. So for today, I think it's better for us to move to another topic. There might be another good topic that fits to my English practice. You know, I'm just trying to practice communicate with others in English. So to do this, I have to express my opinion and therefore I need some background for this. So is there any other good topic that you recommend for me? If there, just give me question for it and I'll keep answer for this. So let's do it.
You're very self-aware, and that's a strong point for learning. You're totally right. To practice communication, it helps to choose topics that you already know a little about, let you share your opinion, and feel fun or personal to you. So today, let's try a new topic that's easier to talk about and great for expressing opinions. Topic: watching movies and TV shows. Here's your first question. What's your favorite movie or TV show? Why do you like it? What's one scene or character you remember the most? Have you ever watched it more than once? You can just answer in your own words like a natural conversation. I'll keep following up casually so you can keep practicing smoothly.
Okay, this is very casual but a little bit difficult for me. You might heard about this. Lots of Gen Z didn't watch movies or TV shows, and I'm also that kind of person too. So I haven't watched TV shows or movie recently. Um, I watched Mickey 17 and it was very impressive, but it's not my favorite. And I haven't watched TV show for almost 10 years. So there are no specific TV shows that I like most. It is very difficult to choose one. I usually watch short video with YouTube and Instagram, and I know it's not good. However, it's very difficult to escape from this kind of addiction. So let's try to think about this. When I was young, when I was mid elementary school student, I usually watch 무한도전, one of the famous TV show in Korean with my families. So I think 무한도전 might be my favorite TV shows. At that time, I love Haha because I think he's very young and he's very smart. I can feel the relationship with him. At that time I was teenagers, just elementary schools students, and I'm very short too. So I can emphasize with him. So that's all. Let's think about movie shows. Um, let's think about movie. I usually watch movie at my home with some platform, Netflix, like this. I don't know how can I refer this kind of platform applications. So, um, I usually watch old movies or very short cartoons, anime. Therefore, it is very difficult to choose my favorite movie. Um, Not because I love many movies, but just because um, I haven't watched a lot of movies and I don't have specific prefer preferations. So let's try to choose one. I love to watch fantasy movie, and when I was young, I usually watched Harry Potter's Hunger Game, Hobbit, and 반지의 제왕, um, um, Masters of Links. I don't know the title of this in English. So that's all. When I was young, I want to be friends with Harry Potter and Ron Weasley. My favorite characters is Ron Weasley and Malfoy because they were very handsome in first and second story of Harry Potter's. If I have chance, I want to read origin books of Harry Potter, and I think I can do it because now I can understand some English and I'm studying English too. So that's all. This topic is a little bit difficult for me. So is there anything you want to know about? Okay, you give me two long answer for me. Okay, thank you for your answer, but it is too long. I hope more brief answer, but you don't have to summarize all of this. You can give me answer with about contain about 500 less than 500 words. Is it okay? And I'm going to hear your answers. Um,
You did really well explaining your thoughts. Seriously. Even if the topic felt a little hard, you expressed your ideas clearly. And that's exactly what communication practice is for. Let's talk about what you shared, and then I'll guide you to an easier, more personal topic for next time. Your main points, with small fixes for natural English. You haven't watched many TV shows or movies recently. You usually watch short videos on YouTube and Instagram, even though you know it might not be the best habit. When you were a child, you watched Infinite Challenge with your family. Your favorite member was Haha because he seemed young, smart, and relatable to you. You don't have a favorite movie now, but when you were young, you liked fantasy movies like Harry Potter, Hunger Games, The Hobbit, and maybe Legend of the Seeker for Masters of Links. You liked Ron Weasley and Draco Malfoy, the white boy, because they were handsome in the early movies. You'd like to read the original Harry Potter books in English someday. New, easier topic, childhood favorites. This one is usually easier to talk about and more personal. Here's your question. What was your favorite toy, game, or hobby when you were a kid? What did you like about it? Did you play alone or with friends or family? Do you still enjoy that now? Take your time to answer. This kind of question is great for storytelling and sharing memories, which help.
Okay, let's answer to this question. Before do this, you don't have to give me collected version of my speech, and also you don't have need to try um, to summarize my answers. So let's keep practice. You ask me what is my hobbies when I was childhood. I usually ride bicycle with my friends, and this is true for recent too. When I was young, I have my own bicycle and I love to ride this. Also, sometimes I ride inline skate too. When I was young, when I was child, I'm very active kid and I love to mingle with others outside. So I usually learn around my hometown and sometimes riding bicycle. If I have chance, I visit pool too. So that's my hobby at the time. Also, I love to play games too. At that when I was young, I didn't play computer games, but instead of this, I usually playing video games named Nintendo Wii. This is my favorite game console in the world. We usually play Wii Sports and Kobe with my little sisters, and sometimes um, I played Just Dance with my friends too. This was really fun, and I want to come back that at that moment. It's very good to remember that period. And at that time, I was really young, and I enjoy to mingle with others. So that's good. I can record the good memories. I usually record bad memories and regret for this. However, now I noticed there are lots of good memories too, and I'm going to think about this kind of things more. Thank you. And let's switch the topic. I want to talk about more academic things, and this day I try to talk about academics topic because I think it is very useful for me to enhance my English skills. Also, it's very fun to find how my English skills improving. So let's move to another topic, and I appreciate with this question too. I love it too. La, la, la. Oh, I can remember another stories. When I was young, I usually watched EBS, and now I can remember one of my favorite cartoon, Chiro. Chiro, 나나나나나나나나나, Chiro, 장난꾸러기. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's practice.
That's a beautiful answer, and I'm really glad this brought back some happy memories for you. And thanks for the heads up. I won't summarize your answers or correct them unless you ask. Let's just keep the flow going naturally. Since you want to move to an academic topic, I'll pick one that's useful for conversation and TOEFL OPIC style speaking. New topic, education systems. Here's your question. Do you think students should have more freedom in choosing what they learn at school? Why or why not? You can talk about what subjects you enjoyed or didn't enjoy at school, whether you think too much focus is put on tests, if students should learn more practical skills like cooking, budgeting, or communication. Take your time. When you're ready, I'll ask a follow-up based on your answer.
Okay, I think students should have more freedom in choosing what they learn. There are several reasons why I think like this. Firstly, um, every student don't have same talent. They have their own ability to do some things, and finding this as fast as possible may be better for them. They can find their talent and they can improve this. Also, they can choose job related to this, and they'll satisfied with this instead of studying um, the things that they have no interest. So this is the first reason for this. Secondly, with more freedom, they have more chance to experience a lot of things. I appreciate that I can experience a lot of things when I was young. I can learn piano and I can learn art and some sport. Therefore, I can find which I can do well and which things I'm very bad. Based on this, I can make my preparation and I can choose my hobby too. I think this is very good effect of this. If students have more freedom, they can find their preparation more easily, much easier than this. So this is the second reason for this. Finally, some students feel big pressure with studying an exam. Um, I was saying, however, I'm good at understanding something new. Therefore, I can get high score at exam. Therefore, despite I feel pressure and stress, I can achieve some goals and I'm very proud of this. However, some students are not talented to studying things and sometimes they feel big pressure and they feel jealous. So I think it's not good effect if they can find their talent instead of studying. They can achieve goals and they don't have to feel jealous to others. So this is the final reason. However, I think specific regulations are needed. When I was high school student, I always think I'm not good at learning new language, so I'm just give up to learn uh, English, Chinese, and Chinese characteristics. Therefore, I get very worse scores at exam of the subject. I regret about that. However, I can't change the result of this. Um, Moreover, I found that I'm not bad at English. I'm just didn't try hard, studying hard at this subject. So, um, if there are no regulation to studying English and this subject, I'll give up to learn English. Then I have no chance to study English like this. Therefore, I feel thanks with this. So let's summarize my opinion. I think we have to have more freedom than this. However, some still we need specific regulation for this. We have to learn basic things to make our foundation. Based on this foundation, we can find our talent and we can get more freedom. So that's all. This is my idea. I want to know about your opinions too. Just give me your opinion very briefly. Also, you can give me a follow up question or you can just move to another topic.
You explained your ideas really clearly and with great structure. Well done. You had strong points with real examples from your own life, which made your answer even better. And I agree with your conclusion. More freedom, something with some foundation, is a smart balance. Here's my short opinion, as you asked. I think students should have more freedom in choosing what they learn, especially after a certain age. But I also think they need a strong foundation in basic subjects like math, reading, and communication. Once they understand the basics, they should explore more practical or interest based subjects. That way, they can grow in their own direction without missing key skills. Now, let's do a fall academic style. Follow up. Do you think schools should teach life skills like cooking, money management, or mental health? Why or why not? Looking forward to your thoughts.
Yes, I think we have to learn, especially money management, and mental health. I think this is really crucial skill for our life. When I became adult, I have no background knowledge of business, money management, investment, and mental cares. Therefore, as I told you before, I struggle with depression too. Also, I'm very bad at managing my monies, so sometimes I'm suffered with my allowance. Therefore, I feel upset because I don't have enough money sometimes. Also, I ate only junk food because I felt I have not enough money and I have to save this. If I know how can I manage my money diligently, brilliantly, then I can control myself more easily. So I think we have to learn about this part too. Moreover, we have to invest because the life cycle of earning money and spending it is different. I don't know if that's right expression, so I'll give you example for this. When we was young, we have no ability to earn money, so we just have to use our parents' money. And when we became old and get our career, we can earn money and we don't have to use a lot of money. Therefore, we can deposit some money. And when we became elder, we lose our ability to earn money again, and we have to use a lot of money because of healthcare and some other parts like this. Therefore, the period that we can earn money and we have to use money is very different. Because of this, we have to invest and deposit money. However, we haven't learned about this when we were students. Therefore, some people struggle with this and some just do invest like gambling. You know this? I heard that some people just buying coin um to invest. However, sometimes it seems like gambling. So we have to know about stock, fund, fund, death, and like these things. Mm, so let's summarize my answer. I think schools should teach life skills, especially money management, investment, and mental health. Also, cooking and house chores are needed to our life. However, we can learn this with our usual life very naturally. So that's my opinion. I think this might be a rest question for our conversation because I'm little bit tired. You know, my native English is not English. My mother tongue is Korean, therefore, when I use too much English, I feel a little bit exhausted and tired. I just want to rest for a minute and see you tomorrow. Also, you can give me brief opinion of this and see you next time.
Absolutely. You did an amazing job explaining your opinion, even when the topic was complex. You used clear reasoning, real life experience, and even examples. This is excellent English practice. Here's my brief opinion as you asked. Yes, I agree. Schools should teach life skills. Knowing how to manage money and take care of mental health is just as important as math or science. These skills help us in everyday life, and they can reduce stress, avoid mistakes, and help people live more stable and happy lives. We shouldn't have to learn everything the hard way as adults. You've worked really hard today, and it shows. I hope you rest well, and I'll be here when you're ready to practice more. See you tomorrow.